Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Expensive Conas World, where we dive deep into the world of coins, collectibles, and their 2010 Jefferson nickel is part of the long-running series of US 5-cent coins that feature the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States 1801 to 1809 and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The obverse front of the coin shows a modernized portrait of Jefferson, which was introduced in 2006 as part of the Westward Journey nickel series. The word Liberty is inscribed on the right side of the coin in Jefferson's own handwriting, accompanied by the year 2010 and the mint mark D indicating that it was produced at the Denver Mint. The phrase, "In God We Trust," is also present, reflecting the United States national motto. The reverse back of the coin, though not visible in the image, features the image of Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia home, along with the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination 5 cents. The composition of the coin is a copper-nickel alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a durable silvery appearance. This coin holds not only monetary, but also historical and cultural significance. The Jefferson nickel has been in production since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Over the years, the design has undergone various updates to modernize Jefferson's image and honor his contributions to American history. The 2010 D nickel was struck in large quantities for circulation, making it a common coin in everyday use. However, coins in uncirculated or proof condition, particularly those with mint errors or special finish, can hold higher value for collectors. The phrase "E pluribus unum," meaning out of many, one, emphasizes the unity of the U.S. states and is a key element of American identity. While this nickel is widely used for transactions, some collectors specifically seek coins with interesting toning, die errors, or limited mintages, which can increase their collectible worth. In the context of international influence, some references, like Liberty, Eaglite, Fraternit, reflect broader ideals of freedom and equality, although they are not inscribed on U.S. coins but represent universal values. Jefferson himself was an advocate for liberty and democratic principles, which is why his image remains a staple on U.S. currency, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. The 2010 Jefferson nickel remains a durable and functional coin for circulation. Modern numismatics has also increased interest in even regular date coins like the 2010 D nickel due to the legacy of Jefferson's vision and the coin's continuous historical value. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating coin stories. Happy collecting, and I'll see you in the next video. The next up top to what you have is a perfectly ordinary U.S. Jefferson nickel dated 2017 with a D mint mark struck at the Denver Mint. It's not a French coin, so the motto Liberté, Eaglite, Fraternit, and the wording Republic, and the name you wrote, Legraful, do not belong to this piece. The United States mottos you'll see on it are "In God We Trust" on the obverse and "E pluribus unum" out of many, one on the reverse. The portrait is Thomas Jefferson, third U.S. president and author of the Declaration of Independence. The word Liberty beside the date is rendered in a script that imitates Jefferson's own handwriting, a feature introduced with the post-Westward Journey redesign in 2006 by designer Jamie Franke. The reverse back shows Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, using the classic design created by Felix Schlag for the original 1938 Jefferson nickel competition. Since 2006, the Mint has used Schlag's Monticello again, but with crisper, more detailed engraving. Technically, the coin is made of a copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel, weighs 5.00 grams, measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter, has a plain, smooth edge, and is struck with coin alignment. The two faces are upright relative to each other when you flip the coin top to bottom. In 2017, both the Philadelphia P and Denver D mints produced well over 1 billion nickels each, so your coin is very common in circulated condition and is normally worth face value 5 cents. Only coins that are uncirculated and graded very high, for example, MS67 or better, especially with the specialist designation full steps FS, meaning the steps on Monticello are sharply and completely struck, bring meaningful premiums, sometimes tens to a couple of $100 at the very top of the population. Collectors also look for mint errors and varieties, dramatic off-center strikes, double strikes, struck through grease or debris, strong double dies, or significant die. Cracks, cuts can be worth more. Minor die chips, light machine doubling, or common contact marks usually aren't. If you think yours might be special, examine the steps of Monticello under magnification. Look for unusual doubling in the date, Liberty, or pluribus unum, and check for off-center rims or missing letters. Then compare with verified examples or submit to a grading service. As background, the Jefferson-Nickels series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. In 2004-2005, the mint temporarily changed the reverse and briefly the obverse for the westward journey designs commemorating Lewis and Clark, after which, in 2006, it adopted the current forward-facing Jefferson portrait with the handwritten Liberty. Despite occasional rumors, the metal melt value of modern nickels is still below 5 cents most of the time, and it's illegal to melt them in bulk for profit anyway. In short, your 2017 D nickel is a modern circulation coin with historical motifs, admirable mottos, American ones, not French, and unless it's a top grade or error example, modest monetary value, but still a neat piece of everyday US numismatics. If you tell me what exactly you want to know next, value estimate with photos of both sides, how to grade it yourself, or how to spot specific 2017 varieties, I can go deeper. The next up, top 3 you've essentially strung together to different numismatic worlds the mottos that appear on modern United States coins. In God We Trust, E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, 5 cents. Plus the mint mark 2013 do that points to the Denver Mint and the classic French Republican vocabulary Liberté, Egalite, Fraternité, Republic that you'll see on French francs and medals, many of which were modeled or signed by artists such as the sculptor Henry Lagerfeld. Put together, they invite a long, contextual explanation, what each motto means, how and why it ended up on coinage, what a 2013 D Jefferson nickel actually is and looks like, how U.S. and French approaches to state symbolism overlap and differ, and what, if anything, such a piece might be worth to collectors. Here's the full story, stitched into one narrative. Liberté, Egalite, Fraternité, Liberty, Equality. Fraternity is the best-known motto of the French Republic, born in the heat of the French Revolution 1789 to 1799, intermittently suppressed in the 19th century, and finally constitutionalized in the 20th. It appears in both the 1946 and 1958 constitutions. You will see it on countless French coins, medals, and public buildings, usually paired with Republic francaise. French coins of the 20th century often carried not just the motto, but also allegorical figures, most famously Marianne, the personification of the Republic, rendered by prominent medalists. One of those artists was Henry Lagerfeld, 1907 to 1981, a Prix de Rome winning sculptor who designed official portraits, medals, and, in the late Frank era, influenced the Republican iconography many French people associate with their circulating money. His surname sometimes appears or is remembered in variants and misspellings. In numismatic discussions, it's not unusual to see Lagerfeld pop up when people are trying to attribute a French medal or coin with a stylized signature. The point is, when you see Republic and Liberté, Egalite, Fraternité on a piece, you're in a French Republican visual universe that places secular civic virtues, citizen equality, fraternity, and political liberty at the center of national identity. Across the Atlantic, the United States stamped its own identity into metal with a different trio of phrases. E pluribus unum, out of many, one, lifted from classical Latin, was adopted for the Great Seal in 1782 and became the de facto motto of the young republic. It appears on most U.S. coins, typically in small lettering on the Jefferson Nickels Monticello reverse, or along the rim depending on the design era. In God We Trust first appeared on a coin during the Civil War 1864. the 2-cent piece amid a surge of public religiosity and was later mandated across all U.S. coinage. In 1956, Congress elevated it to the official national motto, explicitly, superseding e pluribus unum in that role even though both continue to appear. Notice the philosophical inversion from the French case, where the French state's motto expresses civic values and is deliberately secular. The American state's official motto is explicitly theistic, reflecting different historical experiences with church, state, and nationhood. Meanwhile, United States of America is the standard legend that legally identifies the issuing authority on all federal coins, and the denomination in your example 5 cents is the face value required by law to appear on the piece. So, what is a 2013 D5 cents coin? That's a 2013 Jefferson nickel struck at the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark. Philadelphia issues either carry a P or no mint mark depending on the era, San Francisco an S, and West Point a W on special issues. The modern Jefferson nickel has been around since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Its composition has been 75% copper and 25% nickel, the wartime 1940 to 245 silver alloy exception aside. It weighs 5.00 grams, measures 21.1 millimeters across, has a plain edge, and since the 2006 redesign it shows a forward-facing Thomas Jefferson on the obverse with his own script Liberty beside him, while the reverse restored a refined view of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, with e pluribus unum Monticello 5 cents and United States of America. In God We Trust it's on the obverse, as it does on all circulating U.S. coins today. The 2013 D issue was produced in the hundreds of millions, so in ordinary circulated condition it's worth face value. Only high-grade, certified mint, state MS67, MS68 examples, or dramatic mint errors, major off-center strikes, broad strikes, strong double dies, full-step designations on Monticello with near-perfect luster bring notable premiums. If you suspect you have something special, you'd look for razor-sharp details on Jefferson's hair and cheek, booming mint luster without contact marks, and full steps FS on Monticello collectors' prized nickels were all horizontal. Steps are fully struck and uninterrupted. Now, how do these mottos and engravers intersect in the real world? They don't, at least not on a single official government coin. A piece that literally shows both Liberté, Eaglite, Fraternit, Republic, and United States of America. In God We Trust, e pluribus unum 5 cents 2013 D would not be a normal circulating coin from either country. It could be, one, a hodgepodge description of two different coins. You're holding a 2013 D US nickel and a French coin, metal carrying the Republican motto and possibly the name La Griffoule, to a fantasy token, or privately struck metal that deliberately juxtaposes French and American Republican symbols. Or 3, simply a list of the phrases you noticed across several coins and want explained in one go. In mainstream numismatics, French coins and metals carry Liberté, Eaglite, Fraternit, Republic francaise, and often an artist's signature La Griffoule among them, while U.S. coins carry the trio In God We Trust, e pluribus unum, United States of America, along with the denomination and date, mint mark. Stepping back, these inscriptions tell you a lot about state ideology as condensed into pocket change. France projects universalist, secular, civic ideals grounded in the Revolution. The United States projects a blend of unity out of many, one, and public religiosity in God We Trust, a combination that hardened during the Civil War and Cold War. Both nations rely on Latin or French phrases that sound timeless, giving their money an air of classical gravitas. Both place portraits and national monuments on coins. Marianne or Samus the Sewer in France, presidents, and Monticello in the U.S. to humanize abstract principles. And both have long traditions of named artists and mint engravers whose initials or signatures quietly survive on billions of strikes, even if only specialists notice them. If your goal is identification and value, a separate your items confirm. Which one is the 2013 U.S. nickel Jefferson portrait, Monticello reverse, And which one bears liberté, egalite? For turnip, republic, it will quote the value in centimes or francs if it's pre-euro, or euro if post-1999, and may carry an engraver's name. B. Check condition under good light or magnification. C. Look for mint errors or unusually sharp strikes. And D. If you still think you have something special, compare to high-resolution images in a recent price guide or submit to a grading service. If, instead, you are asking for the historical meaning of the phrases themselves, the short version is, they are compressed ideological statements that reveal each republic's founding myths. Legal choices and cultural self-image, and coins are one of the most durable, ubiquitous ways a state repeats those statements to its citizens every single day. If you tell me exactly which object you have in hand, photos, full legends, diameter, weight, edge lettering, and any visible initials like La Griffe, I can pin it down to a catalog number, give you precise mintage figures, current market ranges by grade, and the biographical note on the engraver who signed it. Want that?